Hello everybody and welcome to the Real Tarot 1123. I hope all of you are doing very well. This is going to be a video for my Wicked Wednesday series. I was a little bit conflicted because I was like, I don't know whether I should do this for a Wicked Wednesday or should I do it for the Lost But Not Forgotten Fridays. So anywho, I decided to do it for today because I felt that this case was very appropriate for what we have going on with regards to this particular case. So let us get started. I'm just trying to make sure I shuffle these cards. These cards are kind of, sort of, I'm not going to mess with this. It's taking too much of my time. I don't like wasting my time. This needs a little bit of curing, if you will. So, pardon me. I'm just going to put this in the box, and this kind of needs to sit in the refrigerator for a little bit. Yes, that's right. So for those of you who may be interested in tarot, you know how sometimes you get a new deck and then you feel that the cards are sticking to each other? Is because of the heat, the top layer, that whatever the cover layer they put, it kind of sort of melts a tad bit, due to transportation and the heat, and it sticks. So if we sit there and forcibly peel the card, we basically are destroying the cards, right? So what my recommendation is, stick the cards in the refrigerator for a good 15, 20, or even half an hour, like in the deck, right? The box itself. Take out the book. The book you don't need to stick in the fridge, but just put the whole thing in the refrigerator, not the freezer, in the refrigerator for a little bit, and then take it out, and it kind of just, it doesn't stick anymore. That plastic layer or the paint layer or that ink or whatever doesn't stick, so it's easy to use. So don't destroy your cards, okay? So let's get started. I'm going to do this. So like I said, this case, I should have talked about it, right? This is that gentleman, well, I don't know if I should call him gentleman, but looks like he had some mental health issues. Rajay Sharif Black, or Rajaee. I don't know how you pronounce it. Rajai or Rajay Sharif Black. And he killed his ex-girlfriend, Tara Labang, and also his ex-wife, Wendy Natalie Black. So, and he is survived by the two children who were apparently sitting in the car while he was walking around executing his ex-wife and his ex-girlfriend or something like that. And I think that's extremely horrible. Obviously, there's some mental health issues. He isn't from the medical field, and he blames his ex-wife for his issues. And I think the girlfriend was pregnant or something like that. Some weird scenario over there. I don't know everything about the case. I just got an email from Gypsy Girl, and when I spoke to her, I was like, maybe I'll do it for Friday, but then I was like, no, I'm just going to do it for today. So the thing that I noticed based on my calculations is Rajai and the ex-girlfriend, they both seem to have some similar energies about them. Wendy, Natalie, the ex-wife, so she could have got out of it, but as fate would have it, apparently not. So based on what I'm looking at and the way I look at things, the 4th house and the 5th house were very much active with regards to this whole case, and for Rajai. So excuse me, the 4th house talks about emotions, home, the mother, the family, roots, affairs at the end of life. And the 5th house talks about love affairs, speculation, love affairs, of course, and it could be anything, love affairs, period. You know what falls in that realm. Speculation, and also kids. So it's very interesting that, again, I have to grab my tissue because I need to hide it. Hang on, you guys, sorry about that. So sorry about that. I had to hide my tissue box, as I always do, because of my beautiful burn dog. He's always trashing my tissue boxes. So it's very unfortunate, but then isn't it apt as well? Because consider this, the 4th house and 5th house. 4th house, emotions, home, mother, family, roots, affairs at the end of life. And 5th house, speculation, love affairs, and kids. So, oh my God. And he does talk about having some custody issues with his ex-wife, and the fact that his ex-girlfriend also was pregnant or something. So he must have thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to go through the same scenario again. And maybe he didn't want to go through the same scenario. Either way, any which way you cut it, it's terrible, because the surviving kids and the families, oh my goodness. So I don't have the date of birth, except that Rajai was born in 77. That's all I have, and it doesn't matter. Let's just get on with it, okay? Let's get some overall energy cards. Leo. Water, very emotional. Cancer, oh my God. So what this is telling me is a lot of ego, absolutely. Very heightened sense of emotions. The Cancer card talks about emotional battles and struggles, a lot of things hidden under the surface. Then you have Sagittarius, and then you have Scorpio. Very interesting. You have 2 fire signs and you have 2 water signs. So we start off with Leo. Okay, let me show you the cards again just in case. Leo, the water sign, okay, element water. Cancer, Sagittarius, and then Scorpio. Very, very interesting. So the Leo is ruled by the sun, signifies the male, father, and also signifies children. And then we have the water over here element, and that is something that also correlates with the 6th house, which is work, health, discipline, and habits. Clearly, health could be an issue, be it regarding, mental health is a big issue, emotional health. And you have Cancer, which is again the 4th house over here, or signifies the 4th house. And that again talks about emotions, home, mother, family, roots, affairs at the end of life. Then you have Sagittarius, that is the 9th house of the zodiac. It talks a lot about, the exploring things within your mind, right? It's all about reaching far to understand what all this means, what's the meaning of life, that sort of an aspect. And then you have Scorpio, which is the 8th house, and that 8th house signifies secrets, a lot of secrets. It also has to do with death. It also has to do with 8th house affairs. It also has to do with finances. So it's very interesting. We have the 4th house, 5th house, 6th, 8th, and 9th house active. And again, 4th house, emotions, home, mother, family, roots, affairs at the end of life. 5th house, love affairs, speculation, and kids. 6th house, work, health, discipline, and habits. Could be health, could be mental health. Then you have the 9th house, philosophy. Why? Tell me why. I need to know why. That sort of a thing. Unable to understand things, looking at things from a completely different perspective, trying to dig deep to find out the meaning of all that's been going on, but never taking responsibility. And then you have the 8th house. 8th house talks about wills, secrets, death, finances, that sort of a stuff. So very, very interesting. I'm not at all surprised that these cards have popped up. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to use these cards now. Okay, let's understand what's going on. Rajai and Tara, it was her time to go, for certain, because both of their numbers are similar. But Wendy, I wish she could have gotten away with it. We have the 3 of Wands. Then we have the 6 of Swords. Then we have the Father of Cups. In other words, the King of Cups. I'll turn the camera so you all can see the cards in a bit. Then we have the Daughter of Cups, right? And then we have the 7 of Wands. Okay, so you can see the cards. With the 3 of Wands, what that is telling me here is this is regarding the very egotistical about the commerce aspect of it. Maybe finances was a big issue. I do not know to what extent he was responsible for his children, or if there was any kind of a custody issue or anything like that. I don't know. So let's delve deeper into that, okay? Then we have, with the Three of Wands, I also want to say, I do believe there was a little bit of a high expectation from his side in terms of getting the cooperation he needed, or wanting his ex-girlfriend or his ex-wife to basically cooperate with him and tell him and give him, accommodate him with based on whatever he was asking. Okay, but here, y'all, let me move this a little bit so y'all can see the cards. Hang on, that's too high. There we go. Isn't that better? Yeah, right? Okay. Okay. Then we have the Seven of Swords. Now, with the Seven of Swords, as we all know, right? Seven of Swords clearly does talk about betrayal, running away, dishonesty, very, very emotional. He greatly suspected both of them of betrayal. He suspected both of them of dishonesty, and he suspected both of them of running away from him. In other words, abandoning him. And then you have Cancer here in the Father of Cups. Now, this you can attribute it to the King of Cups in the regular tarot. I'm going to say this man was very much confused about his emotions. This also tells me that inability to express his emotions or what his thoughts truly were, inability to understand and to cipher through his own emotions, okay, really didn't have the ability to do that, was not willing to acknowledge his true feelings. And then you have Sagittarius here in the Daughter of Cups here. This is clearly telling me that rather than acknowledge his feelings and his opinion, his feelings and his whatever was going on in his head regarding his feelings in general, or his feelings about a particular situation, ship, or a relationship, rather than deal with it and talk about it openly and seek help, he pretty much preferred to say, well, why? It's not me, it's not me, it's not me. Unwilling to take responsibility for his own feelings and opinions and his emotions. Just unwilling to. It's almost like I'd rather put the blame on somebody else, right? Then you have Scorpio, and then you have the Seven of Wands. Now, Seven of Wands does talk about constantly feeling the need to protect himself. He felt that he was being defied. He felt that there was a lot of competition with him, and how dare they compete with me, how dare they think that they can compete with me. Maybe he was upset at the two ladies because he felt that they were going to compete with him, or in other words confront him, or maybe say, no, you are not the only player in the game, what we are also players in the game, and what we say matters as well. So he did feel that he was he had to guard himself against a competition. For some reason, he felt very, 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 very threatened. Okay, and the 8th house does talk about secrets and finances and death, etc. I do believe he was really, really threatened even as far as his finances were concerned. So that's the whole thing. I think it's all about, I don't know how many kids he had, but I think 3. But it's all about custody, and it's all about how dare you demand that of me, and you can't get away with this, and kind of feeling like he was put in the corner, and he in his mind felt he was being taken advantage of. But was he really being taken advantage of? I don't think so. I think if he was reasonable, he could have been able to resolve the situation. But see, it's like passive aggressive type of situation. I think he's a passive aggressive kind of a guy. And then everything blew up in his face. But I do believe he struggled with mental health issues. Not just because of this. For a while, he's been struggling with mental health issues. Not because of whatever situation had recently come up. He just snapped. He's always had mental health issues. I want to say he almost comes across as being a very staid, steady person, but just simmering under the surface is that crazy energy which could, like literally erupt and that sort of a thing. That's what I feel happened over here, okay? It's very unfortunate. And then you have the Strength card right under Leo and the 3 of Wands. You have the Strength card here. So what this is telling me is absolutely refused to think with his head. Like he lost the ability to think at look at things analytically, or look at things from a without like setting aside his emotions. He couldn't. I do believe his emotions kind of basically overran him. Like he just let his emotions get out of control. Okay, there is certainly a softer side to his nature, and he feels that his softer side was taken advantage of. That's the issue here. Now, then, let's look at this. He's got the Five of Cups, which led him to feeling very, very emotionally kind of left out in the cold, frozen out. Emotionally, he felt that. See, that's the thing. He thinks himself to be very soft natured and very loving and caring, and he feels that these two women took advantage of him. That's the issue over here, right? And then feeling emotionally bereft, feeling emotionally completely empty, feeling emotionally like locked out, and he feels like they refuse to, it's like alienation of affections. That's what he feels over here. And then you have the Daughter of Pentacles. Now here's another thing very interesting. Father of Cups and Daughter of Pentacles. That tells me that did he or any one of these women start a new job recently, thinking that they could start again? Was he thinking of starting a new job just to get away from all these things? Or maybe he felt that he would like to start a new approach towards financing whatever, taking care of the children or whatever, financial settlement. And then we have the Moon card. Oh my goodness. So this is telling me that absolutely, see, this is a Pisces card. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. And the Cups card here is a water sign, right? Pisces, Scorpio, Cancerian. So what this is telling me, complete confusion, inability to sift through emotions, inability to compartmentalize. He was a hot mess, emotional wreck, mental wreck. This has got nothing to do with anything. Okay, let me rephrase that. This is glaringly obvious mental health issues. Glaringly obvious. And I feel that whatever he was struggling in his life, this struggle started way back when. This is not something that started just recently. He really, really feels that, oh my God, I'm working so hard, I'm paying out all this money, and yet I'm being treated like shit. That is what was going on in his head. And then you have the Fool card. So he decided to, what, I'm just going to wipe the slate clean. With all the Seven of Wands over here talking about, needing to protect yourself, self-defense against competition and against, I don't even know if there was a court case going on regarding some custody issues, right? And it talks about 8th house, talks about wills and secrets and death and finances. So he must have thought, what, I'm just going to wipe the slate clean and be done with it, because it's like there's a no win-win. I'm not going to win. I'm not going to let them win. That was his MO here. Very unfortunate. I wonder what pushes an individual to this extent. I mean, I don't want to know actually, so let me not even put that out in the universe. I don't wonder. I don't want to know. It's very heartbreaking, very sad. And then here we have this card is beautiful. See, but it came out in the reverse, 9 of Wands in the reverse. So what this is telling me is, I'm going to set it aside like that. What that is telling me is inability to keep within the boundaries. He just couldn't keep his emotions under check. See, 9 of Wands talks about being persistent and maintaining your boundaries. He could not keep his emotions under check. He just could not handle that. And I'm holding the cards right, so but this one for some reason popped out in the reverse. So inability to keep his emotions under check. And then you have the Father of Swords over here. So this is telling me, okay, that let me just set this. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. So this is telling me that the need to be strategic in his approach, the need to be smart, the need to think with clarity, the need to make decisions with clarity, greatly lacking, absolutely lacking. Very swift, where he just wanted to kind of go there and just and be done with it. He felt like he was at the end of his ropes, and he said, I'm not going to waste any more time with this nonsense. I'm going to take care of it right away, and I'm going to cut it all short. Cut it all short. See, with the water cup, 6 does talk about work and health, right? He's like, no, I'm done with it. Health is emotional. So he's like, I'm done with it. And then you have your 6 of swords. I am not going to, leave this whole scenario, and I'm not going to move away from this. I'm not. Right? I just want to be done with this. I mean, there's no more evading it. That's nothing. There's nothing more to do over here. It's just a question of, this situation is not going to go away. So I'm going to take control in my hands, and I'm going to make the situation go away. That was the intention here. So then we have the 7 of Cups. Okay. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles along with the Moon card. And then we have the World card. Absolutely. I'm not surprised. So the 7 of Cups is talking about lot of options and lot of opportunities, but he failed to see that. He only wanted, he felt that he did not have access to those opportunities. He felt he didn't have access to the opportunities. He felt he had no way out, and this was the only action he could take. And he failed to see that there were options. There were different ways you could have settled all of this drama. And then Ace of Pentacles, I do believe this boils down to either child support or alimony or something. I think this has got a lot to do with money, because he felt that he was just spinning his wheels in place and just making contributions, and he had nothing to show for it at the end of it all. And yet he felt that he was seeing his ex-wife and ex-girlfriend live a fairly comfortable life. I think he felt like he was working way too hard, and he had nothing to show for it, because he was basically handing over all his income to these 2 women, right? That's what he felt. And then you have the Fool card, right? Remember I said wanting to wipe the slate clean. And then the World card does talk about a completion. So whatever he set in motion, he was very determined to complete. And this is coming a full circle. Okay, it's a successful completion of a situation, of a relationship, of a cycle, of a karmic cycle. This was meant to go down like this. But I still feel that the wife, Wendy Natalie Black, she could have gotten away from it. Unfortunately, see, Tara and Rajay, they were like bound to go. But Wendy, I think there would have been a minor chance that she could have gotten away from it. She just so happened to be there. So, but I'll tell you this, if he had not taken her out, he would have taken out his kids and himself. So in a way, I could say Wendy sacrificed her life for the sake of the kids. That's how I foresee this would have gone down. If she was not there, let's say, for example, she wasn't at home, he would have been very frustrated, but he would have turned around, gone back, taken out the kids and the car, and then taken himself out. Daughter of Swords. Oh my God. For that, I'm going to look at this really quickly. Hang on one second. Very judgmental. He did feel that no matter what he was doing, whatever it is that he wanted to do with his life, he felt that he was constantly being scrutinized by these women. There was no getting away, that there was no peace. He felt that the ex-wife was the one who was constantly on his constantly on his mind, and he felt that she was harassing him. I don't know if she was or she wasn't. I really couldn't tell you about that because I don't know any of that, but he really does feel that she was harassing. He felt that she was see, one has to take responsibility for one's part in mental health issues. He had mental health issues even before all of this began. He refused to acknowledge it, and he found it more convenient to just lay the blame on somebody else. Now, did the situation with the ex-wife aggravated or exasperated? Probably. Did the situation with the ex-girlfriend also kind of, start that? Probably. Add to it? Yeah. But he had to take responsibility for his situation himself, but he chose not to. He didn't want to. Is that a coward's way out? Yes. I will tell you, if Wendy was not at home that day and he couldn't find her, he would have gone to the car or wherever his two kids were or the other surviving children were. He would have taken them out and he would have offed himself anyway. So there was a fine chance that she could have survived. So yeah. It is bound to be. Did he have some dependencies? I think he was tied to his emotional thingy. A lot of dependencies over there. Wheel of Fortune. It was building, building, building. And then finally he lost control. So I want to say his state of mind and whatever that feeling like he was bound, feeling like he was restricted, feeling like he was in chains, it just aggravated, just kept on spinning and picking up pace and picking up strength. And ultimately, he lost control over it. He lost control over his emotional and mental battles. That's basically what this boils down to. Very, very unfortunate, y'all. I'm just so blown away by how extremely terrible this situation is. Any which way you look at it, it's quite a horrendous situation. I'm not going to go any deeper into it because I don't have their birth dates or date of birth or anything like that. Maybe at another time I might just touch on the case a little bit again or do an in-depth. But there's no resolution to this at all, okay? Definitely finances are involved. Definitely, emotional, mental health, completely way off. Thank you so very much for watching this. I do appreciate you all. To my subscribers, I want to say thank you so much for your subscriptions and for your comments and your support. I please do give me a thumbs up. Help me, build this channel, reach more people. And for those of you who are stopping by for the very first time, thank you so much. I hope you decide to stay and I hope you become a member of the Real Family. Please hit the bell icon. Please give me a thumbs up. Leave your comments. And if you want a personal reading, get in touch with me. My website is www.therealtarot1123.com. It's very easy to use, very easy to navigate, very user friendly. You can go on there and look at all the different kind of readings and subscriptions I have, and get in touch with me if you have any questions regarding. If you go to the second page of the website, I don't think a lot of people realize that there is another page to the website. I think I might change the configuration of this. I do other readings as well for those who are looking to connect with a loved one who's passed, or if there's a missing case or some criminal case like this. I do special readings for that. All that information is on the website. Please go ahead and have a look at it. All right. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you, and see you in the next video. Blessed be.